And we are recording. What are we saying, everyone? Hope you're doing well. This is HJM Boxing, your host, Harley. I'm delighted to be joined by top amateur boxer, former Team GB fighter, Jordan Reynolds. How you doing, Jordan, mate?
I'm all good, bro. How's things?
Yeah, it's not too bad, bro. It's not too bad. Keeping well, keeping positive. What about yourself?
Yeah, this is the same thing, mate. Just ticking away, keeping the head down. Yeah, mate. Yeah.
So basically, with all my guests, mate, I like to go from the start. How did your boxing career start? And yeah.
Yeah, I started some people say boxing, you start boxing late when you start 16. I first hit the pads when I was about 13, 14. I was at school, to believe it or not. There was a geezer coming in, Graham was world champion. He'd do, I was under the label Anger Management Group or whatnot. So, he was padding us or whatnot. And it was the first time I was hitting the pads and I felt like I was at home. Like I felt like I belonged somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Everything was gone. All the circumstances going on back at home and whatnot. Everything was gone. And it was complimenting me. And I just felt a little bit of love. So I like this. And he was coming to school twice a week, Mondays and Fridays. And I was never at school. The only days I was going to school was Monday and Fridays. And he was like, if you want to be serious and that, he said, you want to have to go to school every day or, education, all this. I was like, yeah, whatever. So he was ringing me up. He was ringing the school to make sure I was going. And I will keep that at school anyway. But he got me a job. He got me a job with him, 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And before I go keep that at school, he was, that was the first choice I ever made. Was like thinking, right, I want to stick to this. Like instead of going down the hill with all the lads to the town, and he likes robbing people and causing trouble and just doing stuff what council estate kids do. You know what I mean? I stopped all that. I started running up the hill to home, getting changed and running to the gym every day. And that was the first choice that dictated my future. And then from then on, I was in a pro gym, walking out of school. Then I was in that gym 10 o'clock in the morning till 10 at night, Monday to Saturday. And from there, I couldn't box for him because it was a pro gym. You had to, I was in my head, I thought, I want to turn pro at 18. This is the first time I was, stepping into a boxing gym. And then, I boxed for Stevenage. I had 2 amateur fights. Then they ended me in the biggest championships in England, boxing kids with 50, 60 fights. World silver medalist, all the way to the final. Got, ranked number 2 in the country in the first season of boxing. Then from then on, I went to go box for West Ham and Hoddesdon. Winning British and nationals with all different kind of titles. Becoming the captain. Never lost for England. Had about 12 or 13 fights for England. Never lost for England. Then I got into the Olympic team, Team GB. Done 4 years Olympic cycle with them. And now the pro game's here. Make my professional debut come 12th of March next week.
Yeah, your pro debut. We're just back on to Robbie Chapman. He's talked a lot on social media, mate. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, listen, I actually he's been shouting me out for a long while. I actually like the geezer. He's actually sound. He's nothing personal. He's just game and he wants to fight everyone. He's a tough opponent for your debut. Normally it's lads who have had 50 losses and 1 win and things like that. He's tough. But I think I'll be boxing ability wise and whatnot. I think I'm a few levels above him. I feel like I break him down with my jab, and I can see in my head. I feel like if that right hand, I slip the jab for the right hand. I feel like it'd be out of there. I can just vision it. That's the shot I'm seeing, but we'll see what happens. I'm prepared to go 6 rounds as he's tough and durable and he's been around, but we don't get paid for overtime, so we will see.
And you're fighting at 168. Is that a division you're looking to carry on at, or is it drop down to 160?
Yeah, so it'll be 160. I'll be under middleweight. Like I'll be weighing in 165 or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Just under super middleweight, and then just bring the weight down slowly till you fight for them. Them titles, the Southern areas, the English, and the British titles, and things like that. So yeah, all in good time.
Are you looking to go the traditional route? You mentioned Southern area, British. Is that what you want to go European?
100%. I like a Southern area title by the end of the year, if I'm honest. 100%. Southern area by the end of the year, and then we aim for the English title start next year, mid next year.
How's training been in Ireland? Because I could imagine that's a bit of a culture change, isn't it? Being from Luton to to London to Ireland? Has that been difficult for you? Or not?
Yeah. Like from all my life, right? I've always chose the hard roads. I always feel like the hard roads, is what brings you to success. Sometimes I've always picked the hard roads to do, just because I always know it's better myself instead of going the easy route. And listen, I've come on leaps and bounds. I'm learning a lot, but it's hard, especially during the pandemic. It's hard because in London and that, if I need to get a massage, I know I can get a massage or see a therapist, or if I need anything, it's sorted. Strength conditioning, whatnot. Gym's open, it's sorted. With here, I'm literally by myself, and I'm already settled. I've been living somewhere different every couple of weeks, so it's been a bit of a nightmare, if I'm honest. But listen, all you can do, I don't really complain. I'm just 12th of March, USAT. I'm actually fit and ready. I want to get that done. But after that fight, I will probably have a little look, and see what's best for me, and maybe be back based in London. We'll see, because at the end of the day, I've got one shot at this career. I believe you've got to be happy and you've got to be settled. It's hard. The pandemic's fucking. I've been literally moving every couple of weeks. It's been a nightmare.
And you're training with your trainer Peter Taylor. How's that been? Has he been good?
Yeah, great. He's a great man. He's a great man. He's a real genuine man, honest man. Would help you outside the ring and inside the ring. He's took his daughter and Adam Nolan and whatnot to Olympic titles. He's travelled the world. He's got world-class experience. So he's very, very knowledgeable. So yeah, I take whatever I'm told, I take on board anyway. Do you know what I mean? Like they're very wise men.
I've got a few questions for you sent in, Jordan, mate. The Wanderer, where did you get that name from? What was the reason behind that nickname?
You know what? I'll be honest, mate. The Wanderer was probably when I was a bit younger. We would all go out and we all like be after the birds, and for some reason why I can always put a bird, and especially when we were going to lads' holidays and things like that, to the Magaluf and things like that. But then we went from there. But I would say the real thing is like I've never lived like. I moved out of my house when I was 17, living with a random family, just to focus on my boxing and to get away from all the trouble when I was going on. So, and from there, I went to Ireland for a bit. Even when I was younger, I was thinking about going to Ireland back then with Gary Cully was staying out there. Then I was based in Sheffield with GB. And now I'm back in Ireland. I've just always been on the plot. I've always travelled around, and even in London, I used to just go out. I just get my bag, and I used to travel around London sparring. Spar James DeGale, George Groves, Josh Taylor, everyone. Spar absolutely everyone. So I was just thinking like, it was like, mate, you used to do the Wanderer, mate. And I was just like, I love the 50s, mate. I love the music, and I just thought, mate, yeah, listen. And there's a film out called The Wanderers, and I was like, oh, mate, it's actually mad. So it's all just kind of found me. So happy days.
Yeah. And you mentioned about pulling birds. Someone's put, I don't know if you were expecting this question, but what was your experience of First Dates, the TV show?
Oh, mate, yeah, this is done the job, mate. Done the job. Listen, when I come out, I've done it years ago, right? But listen, it's all good publicity or whatnot. Do you know what I mean? But oh, mate, when I've done that, because I thought to myself, you know what, I'm gonna do that. It'll be great for my profile. And it's only because there was a few I was supposed to go on, come down with me, take me out. And I thought, nah, if I'm myself, they don't edit it. Do you know what I mean? It's just you just come across yourself. So I'll do that. And after, I remember they released it a year after, and the day they released it, it was like my first or second month on GB, and it was our first day back on GB, and everyone, people messaging me, and people messaging me going, "You're on first day? It's just in the advert, are you?" And I was like, and then you got to imagine all the lads on GB watching, and in the mornings we all do a run at 7 a.m. So I'm thinking, I'm watching it at night and I'm sweating, like thinking, oh, mate, it's cringing. Do you know what I mean? But do you know what, mate? Actually, they couldn't say nothing, mate, because it come across all right. Done me the world of good. So yeah, it's all part of parcel. I mean, it's a great experience.
You've got to be careful with those shows because they can edit you in a certain way, can't they? Make you look a bit silly, can't they?
Oh, mate, 100%. I was like, that's why I made sure, like, because it's easy done, mate, especially like how you edit things. You know what I mean? It's mad.
Like you say, it's great for your profile. It gets your name out there, doesn't it, really? So.
Yeah, 100%. And like, I met loads of people. I was like, when I was in there after, I was with all the waitresses there. I had them all dancing and things like that. then I'm good friends with Fred. We go to his restaurant every now and then before lockdown, and then yeah, so it's all networking.
I've got a good question here. What's your main goal in boxing, and what are you looking to achieve in it, Jordan? What's your main, like, what are you looking to achieve in boxing? What's your legacy?
Set up to set up the next generation of my family and have a better life, become financially free, and obviously do great things in boxing. Bring the Hatton days back. You know, have some good, real big nights out. You know, I was selling 700-800 tickets as an amateur. I'll be selling 3,000-4,000 tickets now in the next first few pro fights, and it's only going to build. So yeah, that's like, obviously I want to become, obviously titles and listen, just become the best version of myself. As simple as that. As simple as that.
Would a potential fighter like Kenworth Road in Luton be something you'd love?
Yeah, 100%, mate. Fighting Luton, like, that'd be amazing. It'd be amazing. That's all there to be done. It's all good timing, perfect timing. The new stadium's getting built. The time that's built, I have an army behind me. So we're sold out.
I've seen a lot on your Instagram. You've been to Africa and places like. Can you explain like the trips you've done there? Because it's quite good stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, I just feel like I've always liked to give back. I know what it's like to have nothing and whatnot, and like, obviously Africa's different levels of third world country. I just thought we all take a blind eye to it and whatnot. I thought people were saying, "Oh no, raise thousands of pounds and give it to this charity." I was like, "Yeah, I'll give it to that charity," but then the government take 20% of that. So I was just like, I want to raise it myself and go out there and make sure it's all getting put in where it's getting put in. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm seeing it. Do you know what I mean? Where the money's going to. And yeah, it was great. It was just great to get back. It was great to open your eyes. You know, it's real life experience. And listen, you can't. I'm not saying it's changing anyone's lives, but I put you know, a lot of smiles on kids' faces, and there's a lot of people who are depressed there, and it's just made them happy. I was just there to entertain. Do you know what I mean? To do what I can do.
Yeah, 100%. And I see on your Instagram as well, you post a lot about positive mindset, like just keeping positive, like good energy and stuff like that. Can you help anyone, or just any words for anyone who's like struggling at the moment, like mental health or just a bit negative?
Yeah, do you know what? I always say, like, listen, even just reach out to me and I will always have a good chat. But like, I feel like I suffer, like, my upbringing was very mental torture. I seen what I seen and all the stuff I was going through. But instead of being a victim and being civilized and let it, you know, having a pity pie, I try to make myself mentally tough and, you know, callous my mind and make pure resilience. Do you know what I mean? And use that to put it into what I wanted in life. And I just feel like you just gotta, it's you know, like, always try and look at the positive things with your circumstances and whatnot. And like, listen, it's easier said than done. So I know how it is. Do you know what I mean? And I've got very close family members that suffer with it because of family situations, and they're up one day and then the next day they're bad. So it's just finding what works for you. Everyone's different, and it's literally just finding what works for you. And the things like the boxing helps me. The interviews, I love, you know, doing interviews. It's great because I just talk. I've been writing my story down. So I feel great after, and me helping kids and inspiring and, you know, letting people know that it is possible to change your life. I'm a kid from nothing, mate. You know, I'm in and out of refugees, homeless, and seeing a lot of stuff, mate. And I'm actually like come a long way. Do you know what I mean? Things could be a lot different for me. Trust me.
It's inspiring what you're saying, mate. It's like never give up on your dreams, keep going, and just never give up.
Yeah, just all it is. You don't have to be talented. You don't have to be all this stuff about education, about GCSEs and whatnot, mate. Like, it's a load of bollocks, mate. Like, stick at it, work hard towards that, and you get it. I'm not even the most talented or anything. But I'll just work hard. I'll just stick at it. I'll just overtake it. Like, boom. Then they get injuries. I've had injuries, and then they get injuries, and like where it's supposed to take them 3 months to recover, it takes them 8 or 9 months because they're not on it. Do you know what I mean? They're not many days. You've got to be on it. Stick to it, wherever it is.
Never give up, like you say. Yeah, keep going. That's it. Yeah. And we're speaking about what kind of fighters do you look up to then? Like, gives you that motivation in boxing today?
I don't know. I don't really like.
Don't really look at anyone, no.
I hardly watch boxing, mate. To be honest, like, I was. I'll be honest. I was obviously the big fights and whatnot, and a few. No, I do. I do
Yeah,
watch it,
yeah.
but I'm not. I like watching the throwback fights, but I'm not. I don't know. It's just yeah. I wouldn't. I wouldn't really. I would go and watch fighters to see what tricks and little things I can pick up on them, but. Like the likes of Johnny Tapia and all these fighters back in the day, mate. They went through some tragic, they had tragic lives. You know what I mean? And they've always come out the other side and become champions. And Vinny Paz and things like that. They had so many big setbacks. He broke his neck or his back or whatever, and they become world champions. So, like, it's good to watch things like that because you think to yourself, you know what, like, whatever, no matter what happens, someone else has been there and they've overcome it. So you can do it.
Definitely, 100%. Got a question here. Obviously, you're a confident lad. You've got a good look about yourself. I think you'd sell. Obviously, you've got a crowd behind you. Has Frank Warren or Eddie Hearn, any of these promoters, been sniffing you out, Jordan?
So yeah. So what the plan is, like, you can get on the likes of Warren or be Eddie Hearn, that, but you want to make sure you're valuable. Do you know what I mean? It's all about. It's a business at the day. It's all about putting bread on the table. Make sure you're getting your worth. MTK Global, the best management team, they're massive. They're a very strong and powerful team. So instead of being stuck to one platform, I thought, why not jump on the ESPNs, the BT Sports, and the Sky Sports? You know, MTK, they give me the best advice from outside in life to in the boxing ring and the boxing game. So I want to do that. And, you know, I've spoken to Eddie Hearn on the phone and there's some good things in the pipeline. Just, like I said, the 12th of March is where I've got to get, you know, just got to get it passed out of the way. Do you know what I mean? Just focus on that.
All right. Yeah, no, you're right. Yes, take your time with it. There's no rush, is there? So
No rush. No rush. Just keep doing what I can do. Do you know what I mean? Just one step at a time.
mate, brilliant. I've got a couple of just boxing, like, good fights been announced. Just your opinion on them. Canelo Saunders. What's your stablemate, MTK stablemate, Saunders against?
Yeah, I know BJ very well. He's I actually phoned him a couple of weeks ago for some advice. Lovely geezer. If anyone's going to beat Canelo, it would be Saunders just because of his style, if I'm honest. But being real, I think Canelo he's been competing at world level for a very long time. He's been very active. I don't know if Billy's where he hasn't been too overactive in my play a part, you know, into Canelo's hands. But I do believe if anyone's going to beat Canelo, it'd be Billy Joe. And when Billy Joe switches on, because no one's really seen the best Billy Joe yet. I've seen Billy Joe spark, mate, honestly, and he's mustard. He's mustard. So listen, it's boxing. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just don't actually know. Like when I never thought like Billy would be able to put Andy Lee down. Do you know what I mean? And he come out with a naughty little right hook, and I thought to myself, and Andy Lee's a tough man. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. I'm really sitting on the fence on that one. Obviously, you buy on paper and things like that. Obviously, you're going to lean to Canelo because, you know what I mean, and the way he's performing lately and that. But when it comes to styles make fights. So Billy Joe would be all wrong for Canelo. You know what I mean? But we'll see. So I'm actually very excited for that one.
And obviously, the big one, which we're all hoping happens, Fury Joshua. I guess you're on both aspects. You're GB with Joshua, MTK with Fury. Yeah. What's your thoughts on the fight, Jordan?
I would say Fury would either stop him late or beat him on points, just because he's just so naturally gifted. But Joshua could knock him out early. Joshua is dangerous. Like from 1 to 7, 8 rounds, he's dangerous. He's a hard hitting man. Do you know what I mean? So that's it. Yeah, that's all I can see. But I'd probably edge more to Tyson Fury just because of his. That's me being real, just because of he's what's he like, 6'7", and he moves like a featherweight. So I mean, he's heavy-handed, and he's lightning hands. Do you know what I mean? So and his self-belief is second to none. So that's why I feel like his belief and his vision and everything will win him the fight, and that's how he beat Wilder. It was his pure belief he had in himself that got him up at that canvas, and that's what you need sometimes. I'm not saying Josh hasn't got that, but I just feel like Fury's he's just on a positive, uphill ride at the moment.
I've got one last question for you, Jordan. Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time, mate? Like if we're sitting here today in 5 years' time?
5 years' time, I'll be chilled out, few properties behind me, in a good head. What, in boxing wise or just in life?
Both, mate. Boxing and life, mate.
Boxing, mate. I'll be a very well established pro. I believe I'll still be unbeaten. I would have the British, Commonwealth, European title without a doubt, 100%. Would have some big, some big nights ahead. Everyone would remember. But then, yeah, definitely I'll be in a business sense on the other side. A few properties, and I'll be less chilled. Do you know what I mean? I'll be more chilled. Do you know what I mean? More thinking. Well, I'm secured here. Do you know what I mean? So. Yeah, the next a lot of things can happen in 5 years.
Yeah,
it's mad. Sure. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So yeah, I feel like I can't wait. Like where I was never really shown too much love as a kid, and hugs and kids. I can't wait to start my family, mate. Like, and obviously I won't do it now because boxing's first. I'll probably be when I'm 30, 35 or something like that. Do you know what I mean? But like, I just can't wait. I can't wait for that. I'm looking forward to that time as well. And obviously travel. I want to travel the world. I mean, some of the stuff I want to do.
Brilliant.
So we'll see what happens.
Thank you very much, Sean. You've been a brilliant guest, very inspiring stuff, your story, and I look forward to seeing your career. I'm looking forward to seeing your fight next week. God bless. Hope everything goes well next week and you get that win, and keep going, mate. Keep going. It's brilliant. Thank you very much, Jordan.
Yeah, stay in touch, brother. Yeah, anything I can do for you, mate, just give me a shout.
Brilliant. You're welcome on the channel anytime, Jordan. Thank you very much, mate.